to 100% know your story, and you need to talk about it. Your story is going to be the very thing that draws your clients toward you. And so as somebody who's in a service-based field, you have to understand what your why is. When I look at my life, right, I always talk about my story. And me doing that has helped me to generate so many clients because there's so many people who... Welcome to the CYR podcast. I'm your host, Peyton Hogan. I'm a licensed mental health therapist and business owner. In today's episode, I want to talk about 5 key things that can help you to earn 6 figures in a service-based business in 2025. My hope is that by the end of this video, you're able to take these 5 things, apply it directly to your business model, like whatever it is you're doing, and be able to generate clients, be able to generate revenue, and hit the 6 figures like you want to. So make sure you tune into the whole video, take some notes, and be ready to learn the very things that I utilize in my own business and how I was able to go from no clients, no nothing, to generating over $1 million in the last 5 years. But before we get too deep into things, I just want to say, first of all, if you're watching this video, you got to give yourself some credit and give yourself your flowers right now. Being an entrepreneur in the service industry is difficult. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's one that comes with long days, long hours, lots of sacrifice. And so the fact that you're interested in learning how you can grow your business even more and serve more people, like, I'm telling you, you got to give yourself credit for that. We don't give ourselves enough credit for the work that we do. And secondly, I'm here to tell you that being in the service industry or being a service-based entrepreneur is probably one of the most rewarding career fields that you can go into. I know for myself, just being a therapist, like when I'm able to work with my clients, or even like on the coaching side, when I'm working with my clients and I see them like make a breakthrough, or I see them get to a space that they've been trying to work towards, like it really brings me joy, because it's like, dang, like I didn't do it for them, but I definitely helped them. Like, this is why I do what I do. You know, it brings that sense of satisfaction that I just don't think having a product-based business can do. Now, I'm not here to say that having a product-based business is not lucrative. It's not a proven formula, because I mean, there's all type of examples that'll show you that product-based businesses can be good. But I'm not in a product-based business. I'm in a service-based business. So I can only speak from that perspective. But let's get into this, because I want you to be able to have some things that you can take and apply and really start to change the dynamic of your business. Yo, real quick, I almost forgot. As a licensed therapist, I'm big on mental health, and I'm big on making sure that you're taking care of you. And I also want to get rid of this stigma that we got towards mental health. Like, there's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. So if you're somebody that's out there that really wants to start getting their mind right, who wants to really start understanding their emotions and being able to process things that you probably repressed, that you probably ain't talked about, that you might have been even ashamed about talking about. Or check this out. You might not be ashamed about it, and you just ain't found a person for you to talk to. You want to find somebody that's relatable, that can understand you. You got a little swag, you know what I'm saying? A little swag. And they not too far removed. Make sure that you tap in with Bear Company Counseling. All you got to do is hop down in the description, click the link, put in your info, and the front desk rep will reach out to you and get you plugged in with a therapist that I promise you, as long as you're ready, will help you to get whatever you need right up here so that you can succeed in every other avenue and aspect of your life. Tap in with a therapist today at Bear Company Counseling. Now you can get back to the video for real. I promise I won't hop back in again. Here's the first thing you need to know. You need to know your story. You can't hop into a service-based industry and not know why you did it, and not publicize or like put on display why you're in the field or why you do what you do. There's so many people who will hop into this field because they see a proven business model. They see an influencer talking about, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm this, I'm that. And they see them talking about, I'm making 6 figures and I'm doing this. And they're doing all of these good things, but then they don't have a story as to why they even got in that field. You see, when you were influenced or persuaded by that very person who you saw probably on social media, you probably didn't see them in person. There's not too many people who go to networking events that are probably looking to get into this industry. If you go into the networking events, you're already in it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're new and you're just getting into it, that individual had a story that resonated with you, and they knew their story. And so as somebody that's in this field, you need to 100% 100% know your story, and you need to talk about it. Your story is going to be the very thing that draws your clients toward you. It's branding 101. Now let's dive into this a little bit deeper. What is a brand? A brand it's the story that explains what a business or a company is and why it is. We can look at so many different brands. I think a really good book and a really good reference that can help you to understand this more if you're somebody who reads, and scratch that, it can't be if you're somebody who reads. Like, you need to read. You have to read. Is Simon Sinek's Start With Why. That's a great book. It's like, why do you do what you do? An example that they give in that book is, it talks about Apple and Steve Jobs, right? When we think about Apple, we think iPhone, like that's the biggest product that they have. But there was a point in time where they had a plethora of products, man. I remember growing up and seeing everything that Apple was creating. There was one point in time Apple had a car. Apple used to have like the headphones, all the different iPods. They had they just had so much stuff. But now to this day, when we look at Apple, we think of the phone, but it's not necessarily the phone. Apple is innovation. That's their brand. It's innovation and lifestyle, right? We look at another brand like Nike, just do it. You know what I'm saying? They bring a lifestyle. When you look at the way that they market it and you look at the stories that they tell in their commercials, there's always like this athlete who is persevering or going through and grinding and working hard. That's the story behind their brand. That's the why. And so as somebody who's in a service-based field, you have to understand what your why is. When I look at my life, right, I always talk about my story, why I'm even a therapist. I never wanted to be a therapist. I wasn't growing up. I didn't grow up thinking like, oh, therapy is like, that's the job that I want to do. Like, nah, not at all. Not at all. But my story and the trajectory of my life led me to that position. And so I put that on display. And me doing that has helped me to generate so many clients, because there's so many people who resonate with what I've been through, with what I went through, with who I am, with who I was, and the transformation in between. So you have to know your story. You have to understand that, and you have to share it. You have to. It's not even a question or a matter of do I, when should I? Like, no, you have to. Because when you do that, it allows for your client to be able to connect with you. It allows for your client to be able to identify with you. You see, another mistake that a lot of people make is they think, oh, they should buy my service, or they should hire me because I'm good at what I do. All right, which is one facet. It's one part of the equation. You got to be good at what you do. You have to be able to produce results, right? But that other piece is like, I feel heard as a consumer when I look at what you offer. I feel heard by you. And the only way I can feel heard by you is if I tie my story into it. If I'm really solid on what my brand is. You see what I'm saying? So you have to know your story. You have to. Second thing, building off of that story, the next thing you need to know is you need to be able to identify the pain in your story. This is what's going to attract the client, right? It's not your story in particular. Because if we just sitting here talking about ourselves all day, I did this and I have this and I went here and I don't nobody I don't care. Your story is less about you and it's more about the consumer being able to see themselves in the shoes that you're walking in that particular moment. You see? And when you're able to identify the pain, and the pain doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I'm hurting, but it can be. But it's just that question or those questions that you are trying to answer with whatever your service is. Like, what do you solve? Do you see what I'm saying? What do you solve? I know so many people in the service-based space, they're like, you know, I help people generate money. I help people with their mindset, and I help people and it's like, when you were coming up, did you look specifically for that? Did you look for somebody to help you with just your mindset? Right, mindset is it's a byproduct of these things, and these are things that should be integrated into much of the service-based field is like, because you have to change your mindset in order to achieve certain things in all facets of life. But there has to be a specific problem that your story is answering for a particular person, right? That transformation. And so like when we look at stories and we look at storytelling, there's always, at least in a good story, there's always this zero to hero. And how a story is told is like, we have this person who is right here, who has it all in this particular moment, and like, but it wasn't always like that. And so then they take you back to their original self, or the first version of themselves, and it's this average, typical, and then they hit a dip, boom. And that's where the problems are started to formulate, right? Man, I'm struggling, I'm overweight, I don't have enough money, I'm in debt, right? Like, I'm about to lose my house, I lost my marriage, I lost my girlfriend, like all these different things, the problems. And your story has to be able to connect with that pain that your potential consumer is experiencing. So whatever industry you're in, you need to be very aware about the different pain points that consumers who would be purchasing your product have. And you have to figure out a way to tie your story into those pain points, or identify those similar pain points in your own story and talk about them. If you don't do that, it's going to be hard for your consumer to connect with you. It's going to be hard for your consumer to have trust in your brand, because now it's just salesy, right? Like, buy this, buy me, buy me. We all hate like companies that are like that. Like, just buy me. If I wanted to buy you, I'll buy you. A lot of people think that the price of what a product is something that deters people. And believe it or not, it's probably like, it probably deters about 15% of people. When there's something that we actually want, we figure out a way to get it. We figure out how to buy it. When we really feel connected, or when we really feel pulled to support or to get something, we find ways to do it. And if you're able to identify and talk about those pain points in your story and show the transformation throughout, people are more likely to connect and buy with you, your ideal people. They'll see that, it'll resonate with them in here, and you'll get the result that you want. This leads me to my third thing. The third thing is, when you're able to identify those pain points, you need to have an offer that solves them. You see how each one of these things are really connected and intertwined with one another, right? We need to have a story. We need to know our story. We need to know our why. We need to be able to identify the pain points in our story and really highlight them so that our consumer can connect with us. But then where the transformation starts to happen is we have the solution to answer those pain points. And we make it clear, we make it direct, and we have it packaged in a way that I don't have to guess, I don't have to think around it. It's in my face. You see, at this point, this is where many of us have to start like looking at what our offers are and really asking ourselves, does my offer solve a pain that people have, a specific pain? Many of us are just too generalized in what we're trying to offer. I'll help you to reach 6 figures. Yeah, cool. You'll help me to reach 6 figures. How? Why do I need to reach 6 figures? What is it about the industry that I'm in that makes it hard for me to reach 6 figures? Where am I struggling at now? There's so many questions around this offer that I'm trying to like push out there that need to be answered. And they need to be answered for the person that you're trying to sell to. And you see, we get frustrated and we get upset when people don't value our offer in the same capacity that we do. And it's no fault to them, and it's all fault on us, because our offer is not specifically tied to answering these pain points that our ideal consumer has. We need to serve first. And if we're serving first, then we have to have the person who we are trying to get to purchase our products best interest in mind first and foremost. And if their best interest in mind, if it is their best interest in mind, then that means I'm trying to figure out everything that they are struggling, every roadblock, every hiccup, every pain point, I want to know all of that. And I want to be able to have an answer for that. That's tried, true, and proven. If I don't, I need to go back to the drawing board. And you got to be honest with yourself. Am I just getting into this for my own selfish reasons and my own selfish gain? If I am, it's going to be a struggle. And look, we probably know a lot of people out there who are in this field for selfish reasons, and they might be flourishing. Those are anomalies. Majority of us are not going to become successful in the service-based industry if we're going in with a selfish mindset and a selfish attitude. And I can almost guarantee you that if they are selfish and they have that type of mindset and they have that type of attitude, it's only a matter of time before they start losing in some area or aspect of their life. You see, I'm talking about how we can achieve six figures and how we can start to improve and make some motion in our service-based industry. But I also like to tie it in holistically, because if I'm making this money, but my family is suffering, like, what does it matter? If I'm making this money, but my physical health is deteriorating, what does it matter? At the end of all of this, in the service space, having integrity and placing the person that I'm trying to serve first and becoming a servant and really understanding my consumer is of the utmost importance. I promise you, it will change the game for you. Hands down. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to take some time to thank you for taking time out of your day to tune into this video. But also on the same note, I wanted to let you know that only 12% of you right now are actually subscribed to the channel. So like, I would truly be grateful if you just hit that subscribe button for me and continue to tune into this content that I'm producing. I also wanted to let you know that I got something big planned for y'all. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or somebody who's looking to make money online, then you don't want to miss out on this 5-day workshop that I'm putting on. It's called the Mindset to Money Challenge. During this workshop, I will be unveiling all of my secrets that help me go from no clients, no business, no nothing, to making over $850,000 in the last 3 years. And check this out, I'm not holding anything back. Everything that I use and know I will be giving to you during this, because the thing that I want to see happen is that you flourish in your business, that your entrepreneurship booms, and that whatever dollar that you're trying to touch, you're able to do that. So be sure to drop down in the description. I think we're gonna put the link somewhere down there. Drop down in that description, click that and lock in your spot ASA Mother Loving P. And also, I would encourage you, make sure you get a VIP ticket, because with that VIP ticket, you're gonna be able to access a Q&A that happens before the workshop happens, where you get direct contact with me. You can ask me anything. And I promise you, I'm an open book. I'm not holding anything back, because I wanna see you thrive. So again, make sure you lock in your spot to the Mindset to Money Challenge today. And I'll be sure to see you there. Now let's get back to the video. Peace. The next thing you need to do is you need to identify where your ideal consumer or client is. Where do they hang out? Where can you find them? And I'm not talking about in physical spaces, because door-to-door sales, I mean, that's still a thing. But for majority of service-based industries, like, that's kind of outdated. Networking is not outdated, and that's another way that you can do it, but we need something that's more accessible. You can't network. I ain't gonna say you can't network every day, because you can. Every interaction could be a networking opportunity, and it should be. But what is a more feasible and lucrative way to identify where your people are? I truly believe that social media is where majority of people are showing up. But it's about figuring out where your ideal consumer or your ideal client is located on social media. There's many platforms, from Instagram to X to YouTube to LinkedIn to Facebook, all these different platforms. You have to figure out and you have to identify, where is my ideal consumer most likely to show up at? When I'm able to figure that out, then that leads me to step 5, or number 5, which is show up there more than the next person. I like to always talk with people about the comparison of McDonald's to like Five Guys, right? McDonald's, we know that you could leave that junk in a bag for about 60 years and it won't change. So the quality of McDonald's is not really all that, but people still show up, people still go. People still buy it, and it's $1 billion business. Why? In comparison to a place like Five Guys, where, I don't know the quality of the meat, but I know it's a lot better. It's a whole lot better than McDonald's. Why is it that a place like McDonald's, whose quality is low, who doesn't produce the best stuff, why can they do better and generate more than a place like Five Guys. And I truly believe it's because they show up and are visible in more spaces and in more places than their competitor. Even though they don't have the best product, even though it's not the most nutritious, even though it doesn't taste the best, they show up. And so as a service-based industry, I'm not telling you to not give your all to your clients or to your consumer. I'm not telling you to half-ass your services. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to show up consistently. You have to post content. You have to talk about your story. You have to talk about your offers. You have to talk about those pain points that they're dealing with. You have to show up wherever they're at consistently and all the time, because the more that you do that, the more that your ideal client will see you. And the more that they see you, the more that they feel like they know you, the more they feel heard, and the more that they will want whatever it is that you have to offer because they feel heard. That is at the core of everything. They feel heard, they feel seen, they feel visible, and you can answer the very problems that they are trying to answer themselves, but they can't find the answer to it. You do. So if you take these 5 things and you start to apply it to your business model in this service-based industry, I promise you, you will be able to achieve 6 figures easily. I remember when I started doing this back in 2020, I was able to generate my first 6 figures from 2020 to 2021. I was able to generate a full caseload of clients. Like, I just watched things change like that. It took work, it took discipline, it took consistency. And like I mentioned earlier, like, it took some sacrifices. There were some long days, there were some hard days, but it has now led to me generating over $1 million in the last 5 years. I don't think there's too many individuals who are able to say that. Take these 5 things, apply them, and really start to make things happen. Also, if you want to know more about this, like, I expand on these topics in my book that is dropping in the month of July. Just stay posted for the exact date. It's in editing right now, but it's The Purpose-Driven Entrepreneur: How to Attract, Secure, and Retain Your Ideal Clients. I'm dropping that in July. I'll have a link that you can start to reserve and get your copy and all of that good stuff. But I go further into detail with all of these things, with how to attract and secure your clients so that you, as a service-based provider, can become successful, can flourish, can prosper, and really start to create a positive impact in this world, because we need it. We need positive impacts. There's enough negative impacts right now. We need more positive impacts, and we need more people who are out here ready to serve others. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the CYR podcast. When you clean your room, you change your life, you create your resilience, you change your reality. We out.